we're back again, and last time we went through a lot of the stuff we looked at on demo data, and now I'm ready to put my data into all of this and adjust it as needed. So yeah, where do I begin?
So you begin with a model, with a data model, and with enough data.
Okay.
So in order that you can reproduce everything, we decided to get a free available model so that we can use. And for that, we go to Marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And we download the profit and loss model. It's a free model from Jedox. And we want to install this.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to enter everything. Then again, we install it as a global model. We keep all extensions. We have the details here. We accept the agreement. And now we can download and install. We have to wait a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We have to enter the name. We just go with the default.
And that's ready now.
So now we go to my models. So what we see now is we have the assisted sales planning model, and now we have also the profit and loss model and the sample data of that.
Mm-hmm.
In the assisted and the profit and loss model, we go there. We have a profit and loss cube, and we have also time dimensions, monthly based.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, we do not have enough input data here.
Okay.
So we only have like 2 years for 2019. If we want to predict 2019, we only have 2 years as an input.
Mm-hmm.
So that we have more data available. So we will adapt this model to have more data available as an input.
Okay.
So what we first do is we advance the time dimension.
Mm-hmm.
So it's done with a time editor. It's a time editor dimension. So what we can do is just go here to 2015, keep everything else as it is,
mm-hmm.
and go with extend dimension and update dimension.
And is there a recommended number of years to take into account, or?
Yeah, so we say that you should have at least 3 years
mm-hmm.
as data input. You could have more. I think between 3 and 5 years is good.
Mm-hmm.
If you have more years, you can try to put them into that. But it's also like if you imagine how do you do the forecast for yourself. You will not look 10 years back. So maybe you look for the last 3 years or the last 5 years, something like this, but you will not look in the last 10 or 20 years. So
mm-hmm.
It's not always better to have more and more data.
Okay, that's interesting.
But yeah. in this case, for the forecast, for the time series forecast, it's better to have more actual data so that you can find patterns, but not from 10 years ago. Maybe.
Okay.
So in this case, we changed the time dimension. I think we have to. Oh, here it is. So now we have 3 to 4 years as input, but now we have to fill these dates. So what we will do is we create a new spreadsheet. Let's say fill cube. And we do a paste view on this profit and loss cube.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the time here. And what do we need? Measures. So we want to keep it simple. Just want these two measures,
Mm-hmm.
and we choose legal entity 11, currency, local currency, P&L accounts. Let's go with all P&L accounts.
Okay.
What we see is, okay, so we have like 6 months in 2018 and 12 months in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fine. But now we need this data in 2016 too. So we can use the copy function, and we can adapt this to be 92%. And we can copy 2016 and say like, I don't know, 89%.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have data there, so it's artificial data, that's obvious, but it's just about that we need this.
Yeah, how do I actually set it up?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now let's see. Okay, so we have this. All the months are filled.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have 3 years, 3.5 years of data. So we can predict 2018 with all the data, but we can also start predicting from 2018-7 with more data.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the data part. And what we also have to do is we have to store the values somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to the versions dimension. And here we have actual, budget, and so on, everything what we need to know. And now we want to have a prediction element here. So we just add the element prediction, and there are also these upper and lower bounds.
Yep.
So we also have to add these prediction upper and prediction lower.
Is that spelled right? I can't read it well. Okay, yeah, prediction.
Prediction lower.
Mm-hmm.
So, and these are the versions where we store the predicted, so the automated forecast values, upper and lower bound.
Mm-hmm.
And it automatically set the calculation scheme to P. I will change the calculation scheme to A.
Why? What does P stand for in A?
P stands for planning values, and A stands for actual values. And as our calculations are based on actual values, we need to mark them as actual, because otherwise all the rules which are on budget and forecast and so on will also be processed on the prediction values, and we do not want that. We want that the prediction behaves like actual, because it's based on the actual values.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a built-in functionality from the profit and loss model, so we have to take care of this. So this is not for your own custom models, but this has to be done, because otherwise we will show strange values later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have these additional values, versions, and that's it. So we have the additional data in the years, we have the additional versions in the versions dimension, and next step would be to adapt the integrator project to this custom model.
Okay, so that was really, when it comes down to it, only two adjustments: the extra versions, and then making sure I have enough years with data in them for that. Okay, and then that means in our next lesson, then you'll walk me through adjusting the integrator job. Okay.
Exactly.
All right, great.